So basically, this is a new name called BSFT. As I recall in pre-market, it had a great earnings report and whatnot. And so SMF will start some coverage on it. And what we're doing is with some of the new free trial attendees and some of the newest MMTs and whatnot, is we've been explaining the platform versus the public. And that this platform is not a public platform, but rather a market maker platform. That's something that the public now has never had privilege to. Because if they knew, well, how could the market maker stay in business? Basically, what we're going to be showing people is how this 15-minute breakout occurred. There was a lot of 3-minute, 6-minute, 9-minute, 12-minute, 15-minute, and you kept expanding in your teeny ranges. And each one of the lines were $20 were 20 cents. That's what I have. And that some of this price action bar right here at this time level at 11:03 a.m. the IR was burning at 92, but the way that you know that it's starting to happen is that in under the VO1 column right here, that's a $1.48 price action movement. Calculates it for you all. It has to. There is your volume count right here. 96,524 shares to get that $1.48 move. Now, on this column here, you were burning at 100. And you still had a fairly decent volume of 86,000 there. But you still had a continuation move of 8.81 ratio, which equals another 81 pennies. And that during the process, you can clearly click here. Wow. The VO1, 96 pennies from bottom up. Yeah, it was. That meant that we were expanding and the IR was at 100. We would never sell that. Now, let's go to this column here. Wow. Let's make sure that this timestamp is right. Yes, it is. $1.15 higher. Again, with an IR burning the clutch and a half bar at 49.60. This bar right here up at the top was still burning higher, and everything was working your way in every one of these gauges, and everything that this is designed to do with all the text alerts, everything that's in the market maker brain is also being text to you. You already know what it means. 4 1/2 deltas equaled $49.39 in the brain. And you're at 49.37 by 49 pennies in the bid and ask public print in that line right there. Not only that, it gives you right here below delta line 40.39, that's the SMF price, at 4 1/2 deltas. Because 4 1/2 deltas is a huge delta expansion. That's another reason why BSFT will go on the SMF market maker list as of today. And the reason why is because of the delta expansion. And it's giving you the text alert and what the price is in the brain. Look at here. Teeny high has been put in at 50.49 at 4 3/4 deltas. That's where the reversal started. Slightly below the high of the day was 50.73, but your brain just told you right here, for crying out loud, teeny high has been put in at 50.49 at 4 3/4 delta. Okay? So when you understand to read your info panel, not only that, there are other tools that the platform offers, such as the SMF Command Center. So if you have a lot of names in there, you can see what things have been doing all day and the names that you have in your watch list there. It'll give you all the readings forever for the whole day in your SMF MMT Alert Command Center. You can't miss anything in the market. And it's a gift. And this is one of the gifts. Not only do you get the broader part of it, you can also hit the voice alert switch right there. You got your indexes, your fear indicators, you got all of that right here. You've got a mini brain. This is a market maker ratio brain. Now, this is not a public brain, and we have finally pulled back below 85, and we are finally getting that teeny contraction down live. And we can see here where the ratio is 4.33 and 4.92 was the high. So here's your ratio spread, $15.83 up, and you're printing at 14.12. So you're about almost 10 teenies off the high, which is about $2 in that reversal. And you're at 80. You're below 85. Okay? Watch the IR gauge as it's popping. The low, well, that was a low of the day. That's always going to stay the same. Your ratio is throttling all the way back over here at 4.33. That's this number here. That has to go up in value. If it doesn't go up in value now, you're going to continue the pullback. And if you go below 75, you're going to have that teeny contraction, and this is live. So Mr. Mantalk brought this one up. This is where the sell bar comes in, and how do you know? Beyond a reasonable doubt, you took out that half bar at 50.05. And when you close below it and could not close back above it, then that was the time to take the entry. You know, hey, it doesn't matter. It was a few pennies still, you know, 50.05, the highest 50.73. And you would take the reversal then. And as long as you don't close above that, once again, that's this over here. Once you don't close above this diamond alert, you're fine. And it confirmed it right here. And you couldn't get back above this big down bar, and everything started to deteriorate. So you're coming all the way back down, just like you walked up with the ratio, is that the ratio hit the peak of all of those IRs that I was talking about. Right now, if I'm looking at the IR, buddy, this column is 77. It's still elevated. So that means that when we do hit the bottom with the buy action bar, the pullback will be buyable. It's had a huge move, and it's a lot of price volatility on earnings and a lot of things that go into the name, but this reversal remains the same. And it's getting a big reversal bar to go along with the original one below 50.05 right here, $50.05, and that was this bar. That's this one. Okay? Because you want to look at where the last 12 minutes of the peak was with the distribution bar. And that's how the weakness at the half bar and closing below it says that there's a little bit more weakness. Now, let's see here how we pop up off of there. And remember, this half bar at 49.36 is going to be the key, MMT. And you're 48.69 by 48.83. That's a ways to go up. You got to close back above that half bar. And you can see the ratio, penny ratio, closing half. When that's negative ratio, that equaled the weakness in the pullback. Now, when it changes and stops going negative, closing half bar, and it starts to contract, you'll start to get more price action stability in the brain. So right now, that half bar is a big deal. This one. Okay? And over here, once again, this half bar is a key right here. And that is 47.67. If I cannot maintain the second big breakout bar closing half above here, okay, let's go look at the bid and ask. Bid and ask is 48.70 by 48.80, and you're about $1 ratio above that particular bar. And what you want to see is that you maintain the second bar. If you fail, then naturally it's going to be right back down here of this half bar at 46.88. So we're going to learn here that the pullback is still elevated, because it is, and the IR readings are still elevated because they are. It's just that in order for it to break back higher, you're going to have to go north of 85 And you're going to have to get back in the high readings like you were over here on the IR. 98, you got to get back up there. See the 98s here and the 100s here? Well, that would have to happen in order to get that move back up there. BSFT, new addition, and new MMT training, and what it's like to ratio up, and what it's like as a market maker to also ratio down, and what it's like to use a market maker platform at price action versus the public platform.